Welcome to the Some Laugh podcast.
It could be like, oh, that was some laugh, or there was just some laughs.
Some laughs.
Well, no promising all laugh.
No, there's going to be some.
It's some laugh. We've got here some laugh. Oh, we're starting to record now. Yeah, no, that's good.
Oh, we started.
Just
Oh.
nice rolling. You can
Okay.
whenever you like.
I never really like it starting in a professional manner.
No,
anyway,
it's too much pressure.
It's not really the vibe. We just sort of fade in, and it's the
Yeah.
illusion that it's mid-conversation.
Yeah.
All carefully planned though.
2 seconds, I'm going to put the rope on the door, just make sure no one's walking in.
Oh, no worries.
Sweet,
Cheers.
yeah.
Okay.
Better be a red rope in. Yeah, good.
Velvet carpet.
So we're recording in the Monkey Barrel studio at the moment, who've been kind enough to lend us the place for the day. We should probably start by...
I thought it was here all day.
Cancel your show, bro.
24 hour.
Podcast. Did we not
Yeah.
mention that when we got in? We should probably say that unfortunately we are not joined by Steve Buchanan this week. Steve unfortunately has caught COVID, and
What?
we really hate to break it to
Old school.
people,
wow.
but he is actually now dead. So
We're holding auditions for the new third member.
we thought we need to keep consistent. We can't let the show must go on.
Fingers
so
crossed.
Where do you live again? You live in Birmingham, Josh?
Near Birmingham, yeah.
It's not ideal, is it, for the commute?
It's going to be a commute.
But you're willing
Yes.
to travel.
Yeah.
There is a, you can get from Birmingham straight to Damure station, and we'll pick you up by. No, so we're joined by Krystal Evans
Hi.
and Josh Pugh.
Hello.
Where's the applause one? Was it
Today-
that one?
Yeah.
I don't
It
know.
goes on
let's,
for
let's
ages,
press. We've got
though,
sound
don't-
effects. Will we just do it anyway?
Yeah. Oh, that.
I'm going to need to listen to these if I'm pressing them.
It seems like they
change
change every time you push the same
Elevator
button.
music.
I've no idea. I've no idea.
Makes us feel like American, like shock jocks more than DJs.
That's it. There we go.
And then we'll do
Just
and
feel-
Josh Pugh, and then we'll hit it again, and
Yeah.
that'll be the first 5 minutes. Of the podcast.
But
It does feel quite American. Should I be vaping during this?
just getting peer pressured into smoking weed like
Yeah.
fucking Elon
Yeah.
Musk on Rogan.
That's right, yeah. That's good stuff. Yeah.
Would you do
Microdosing.
Rogan if you got asked?
No.
I don't know what. 4 hours.
The image
so
of
long.
you on Rogan is hilarious. Josh.
so long, isn't it? So long.
That would be all day.
Yeah, he's like. You listen to the crossover one with the British guys.
Yeah, well, that's saying. How did they do 4 hours when you're not allowed to say it anymore?
Yeah, it's amazing.
It's a lot of dead air.
Yeah. You can't say anything anymore. Join us in another 3 hours. Yeah.
No, I'd like to go. I'd be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go on there and then like confront him about a bunch of stuff. But I'm so nice, I'd just be like, yeah, and it would just be like a really polite podcast for
Yeah.
3 hours.
Yeah.
You'd send some pretty nasty WhatsApps to us after.
Yeah.
That'd be it.
I would just try to kind of nudge him in the direction of my politics. I feel like he's easily sort of.
Yeah, he's.
He's
I think
easily
you could
influenced by
easily
who he's
get Rogan
talking
to
to.
come out in favour of Scottish independence. That could swing it.
Yeah. You know, it'd be good to. I think you'd be able to get on as like a fake expert on something,
Yeah.
and he'd just go with whatever, and you could like a hidden camera thing.
Yeah.
You'd get him. You could think you could get him to believe anything.
That would be amazing.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if that happens actually. And I think
Yeah.
Josh, you're the
Sacha
man to do it.
Baron Cohen or something
Yeah,
like that.
like a Luke McQueen, Sacha Baron Cohen
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Oh,
Yeah,
that would be really good.
that's the best way of getting these people sometimes, isn't it? It's just to give them enough rope.
Yeah.
It's like they just expose themselves. haven't they?
Absolutely.
I've basically never seen it, but what I have seen is just him going, wow. Wow. I feel like you
Yeah.
could get him to say wow at fucking anything.
It's entirely possible. That's what we always say.
Yeah. And here's the thing. And it's just something that no, that
And it's
isn't
not the thing. Yeah.
that's not
No.
the
It's
thing.
a thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, we probably shouldn't start beef with Joe Rogan. Sorry. I reckon he could take us.
Be interesting. But we were talking about, you were just saying about Raw Dog and the mic gesture. This is going to be the most convoluted segue ever. But we were just discussing off air, like, so there's a divide in the table in the fact that you guys are doing the Fringe with kids.
Oh yeah. Oh, you have
We
kids.
are
Oh,
kids.
right.
And we are doing our best to not have kids.
How do you find it in the Fringe as parents? We should say they're not parents together. It's not.
Yeah. No. And then, are yours here, Crystal?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
mine aren't. It's
Ah,
well,
see,
my
so
little
you're-
boy is back home.
So you're on holiday basically.
Yes,
Yeah.
awesome. I'm like sleeping.
Oh
I'm
my
doing
god.
it's
I hate you.
incredible. They came up for like 3 days, and I was like, well, "This is tough.
You're like, leave, get out of
yeah,
here.
this is tough." Great to see little kiss, cuddle,
Yeah.
back on the
Proved your point.
yeah.
Back
But it's
in the
literally
train.
the second my wife got off the train, the pushchair broke.
Oh fuck.
Like
How old are they?
So he's 8 months,
Oh my
and my
God.
wife's 30.
That's a good age. That's a fun age. 30.
But it was like the clasp that kind of keeps them in the pushchair.
Yeah.
So I can't carry him the whole time. So I bought some electrical tape. I put him in, just taping him in. And I'm
Like a stag do prank, like tell
yeah.
You live here now.
Yeah, so people are like seeing me on the street. I just pop him on the pushchair.
Yeah.
And he's in. I'm just taping him in to this thing. It's like, oh.
Yeah, because at 8 months they can't really hold themselves up yet either.
Yeah, with
successfully.
Yeah, we'll try and get out.
Yeah,
you won't,
try and get
yeah,
out.
it's mad.
Yeah, that's a shame.
You been to any kid shows?
I don't generally like most kid shows, but I liked Storybots. Did you like that one?
I've
Have you
not
seen
been.
that one?
We went to one, and I just tell you, there's money to be made there. That's
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking all the way through it. These guys are absolutely. These are shifting numbers.
looking at
I
the
mean,
margins.
Yeah, these are not flying.
Most of them are really shit though.
Oh,
What kind of stuff is it?
absolutely.
Because I've never even done a kids gig.
just waving a couple of ribbons round and.
Literally, like there was this guy. I don't want to like throw anyone under the bus, but but like there was just this guy who had like a colander and like a fucking cardboard box that he painted buttons on, and he was like, "We're all in a spaceship." It was like so shit,
Yeah.
and it was like 10 quid each.
Were you at ACMS?
Yeah, yeah. There weren't even any kids there. It was so weird.
The most alternative
Got 5
comedy
stars.
performance of all time.
Yeah.
If you do want to, like, if you're performing one of these kids' gigs, as long as the parents are happy, they're coming back. They're getting to decide, really.
Yeah.
Unless I suppose
Yeah,
the kid sees the
that's
poster and goes,
true.
"Am I going to that balloon thing or whatever?" Like
It's like
Yeah.
playing to the comics at the back of the room. Like,
Pretty
you're not
much.
even
Yeah.
actually playing to the audience.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Have any of you done kids gigs?
I've done baby gigs,
have you?
so it's like
Where people bring their babies.
But it's like,
Matt Ford?
This came up this week.
oh
'cause
yes, it's mad. So what happened? Did Matt Ford not want a baby in his?
He tweeted about there was a baby in his audience, and he was just like, "How was
Which is
it?"
completely understandable in
Yeah.
my opinion.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be bringing a
Yeah.
fucking baby to a
No, I
comedy show.
agree.
Not
I've
if
had
it's
that.
gonna cry and
agreed.
disrupt
And people are
everything.
just
Ruin
using
it for the
to,
other
like,
100 people.
If they didn't like him, just
Yeah.
slag him
Yeah.
off, basically. But
So harsh.
it's true. It's true. I mean, like I remember one year I was doing the Fringe, and Steve, like basically I was running for someone else, and because it's a free Fringe, Steve actually opened the show for me, like the first 5 or 10 minutes, because I wasn't literally couldn't be there. And so then I got into the room, and I get on stage, and there's just like it's like a wee 10-year-old boy sitting there, and
Yeah.
I'm going, "What the fuck?" And then they were like, the parents were like, "Oh, it's fine. Oh, he's heard it all before." And I was like, "Why? Why has he heard it all
How's he
before?"
heard my act before?
Yeah. He's a big fan. Yeah.
But I've messed up this year really. So my show's at 2:10, and when I was doing the online, fill the form in, you put the age on it. I put 12 plus, as in, if I was rating it as a movie, it's probably 12. But obviously people have taken that as 13-year-olds can go.
So you're getting a few of them.
I'm getting a few like kids.
Yeah.
It just changes the entire vibe in the room, because
Yeah.
even if they're like, "Oh, it's okay," every time you say something about
Everyone
fucked up,
Everyone's
looks.
looking
Yeah.
at the kid.
Everybody's like,
Yeah.
oh god.
everyone's aware there's a child there.
Yeah, totally.
I know.
Like, is it, how inappropriate is it? Like, is the...
Well, you
I know you're not getting your cock out.
Yeah, you feel like, no, it isn't. But then it is. It's just all the references are not going to make sense.
Yeah.
It's mad, because if you've got, if you do like freshers gigs, you're like, oh, there's no way these are going to relate to me. But I watched stand up on TV when I was about 12 and loved it. So I think sometimes people will just enjoy it. Kids can just enjoy it, innit?
Absolutely.
Do you know what I mean?
Certain things just go over their head, but then it's like there is that age, which is like 12, 11, 13,
Yeah.
where it's like they're old enough to understand like everything.
Yeah.
And they're like,
Yeah.
what? Jizz? What? Like,
remember wrestling? Remember DX?
Aye.
Usually the suck it sign. I remember obviously not really understanding that.
Yeah.
Like my mum tell me off, and I would just be like, "Suck it," and like doing that. Obviously not knowing like the sexual connotations of it, but it's just innocent of like you having to go back at somebody like that and do like this to my mum.
yeah, it just sounds cool.
And a
Suck
guy
it.
from
Yeah.
school got kicked out of class by the teacher. He just stood at the door, like the threshold of the classroom, just doing this to the teacher. It's mad when you're like in supermarkets doing it to my mum and dad and that. Just mad.
Oh my god.
I had no idea what The Rock really meant when he was like, "Do you like pie?"
Yeah, exactly.
I still don't know what that means.
Neither do I, boss. But no, it's true. Like, and it's like when you watch The Simpsons or something like that when you're younger as well, and like you watch it back now and you go, "There's all these
Yeah,
references."
you
to
enjoy it, but you
politics or
just
something.
basically
Right.
didn't understand the word.
Yeah. Like the South Park, you're just shocked. You just, as a kid, like, oh my God, they've just said that. It's a cartoon.
Aye.
Like, I watch cartoons, but this is a cartoon that says these words. Then you should go, oh, you're like, oh no, this is mad. This is brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. It's mad.
And like in the like early 2000s, like Animaniacs, which is for kids,
Yeah.
had like adult jokes that were so inappropriate. Like they would get like fingering jokes in there and
Would
stuff.
they?
Yeah, because they would do it so like you could look it up on YouTube and
Mom's
stuff. It's
gonna watch it,
amazing. Yeah, it's really amazing. They would
Hold on,
slip it
I'm
back.
stepping on my toes. There's my material issue. I can only remember the theme tune to that.
Yeah, it's a great theme
It
tune.
was a great theme tune. I didn't know they were talking about fucking.
Oh yeah, yeah. Because it was that era where people were like, if it's a cartoon, it must be for kids, you
Yeah.
know, and they couldn't get their head around that there's like adult cartoons. But
I know.
yeah,
Whereas now like, every cartoon's for fucking kids now, isn't it? It's like
yeah.
Yeah.
and Rick and Morty and all that shit. So I was like,
Adults,
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, for adults.
For
is that
adults.
what I say kids?
yeah, I knew you meant. You said the
Every
opposite.
cartoon's for fucking kids these days.
It's weird.
So how have you been finding the Fringe this year, Krystal?
Good. Like my kids are here, so it's just a logistical nightmare. Like, but luckily yesterday my older son went back to school,
Yeah.
and it's amazing how all of our mental health improves when he's
Yeah.
gone back to school. Like I always say this all the time, but like you can't listen to kids ever. Do you know what I mean? Because it's like, because we're like a really woke household. And I'm like, oh yeah, let's listen to his feelings and all that. But I find the more we do that, the worse we all are. Like off.
Yeah.
Like because kids don't actually
They're
know.
completely irrational.
No, they are.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
totally are.
Krystal's got a very Alan Hansen attitude towards it. You're not coming in with kids.
Can't
No.
win the Edinburgh Comedy Award with kids.
Oh, absolutely not. No, no, it's just like, yeah, because if you ask my son, he's 7, what he wants to do, he'll always say, stay in the house and play video games. Which, to be fair, like that's what I would do as well.
Yeah.
But then it's like if I let him do that multiple days in a row, he turns into an absolute nightmare. But then when he's
Yeah.
going to school, which he says he hates, he's happier.
Does it have a real effect on them, the games and
Yeah.
stuff? Has it changed their...
Yeah, it
Oh,
does. Well,
yeah.
I think it depends on the kid, just like it
Yeah.
depends on the person. Like my son's like super affected by it. I find like
Yeah.
he turns. into
I
an
am
absolute
though.
nightmare.
I've got to be careful what I'm watching. I watched the Liam Gallagher documentary on Netflix.
Yeah.
And the next day, I had a bit of an RC email from my PR, and I just sacked her. I was like, you know what, this is never going to work. And I had to when it worn off, I had to kind of like backtrack and like, oh, actually, so I was just really revved up. I watched the Liam Gallagher documentary last night. And so
Signing off an angry email as you were, JP.
yeah.
Also, like Liam Gallagher, you were begging someone to get back together with you after he's
I thought you were gonna say like your 8-month-old started playing Oasis covers or something.
Yeah. I started signing off. When he was doing that, as you were, Liam Gallagher, I started signing off on Twitter. If you must, if you must, JP.
Krystal's like, because Stuart was actually telling me this, because I'm not too sure. Like, so how long have you been in Scotland now?
Almost 8 years.
8
It's been
years?
so long. Yeah.
And you've had a bit of a journey before that, have you? Like,
Yeah.
Didn't mean to turn this into an interview, but
No, it's
you've
fine.
lived in exotic places.
Yeah, I have. Yeah. I moved around a lot. I lived in New York. I'm from the West Coast of the U.S., and I lived in New York for like 5 years. And then I met my husband, Stuart, who's also from Fife, but not
Friend of
this
the
guy.
show.
Friend
Yeah.
of the show.
Pfeiffer's called Stuart. Stick together.
Yeah. And yeah, he's a chef. I was a bartender, and we just like moved around. We'd moved to like the Caribbean for a couple years. We were in England for a couple years, not quite as exotic.
No,
And
the
then we moved
Caribbean?
here. Yeah, we went to
Whereabouts?
Barbados.
Barbados?
Yeah, for 2
What was it
years.
like there?
It was amazing. It was cool living there. It was weird because he was on like a work contract like for 2 years, which is like you get that and you are allowed to work basically, but I didn't have that. So I had to do like bartending work under the table and stuff there. So I had to keep swapping jobs so that the government didn't find out I was working.
On the run. In Barbados.
Yeah, exactly.
Love that.
Well, come and get her now, Barbados government.
Yeah,
Fuck
exactly.
you.
Exactly. No, it was crazy living there. It was amazing, but it's like such a tiny island. Like the whole entire island's like as big as Edinburgh, you know. So it's
Really?
like so it's like it's so small and everything's geared toward tourism, really. So you've got the tourism stuff and then you've got the stuff that local people do. and it's weird because it's weirdly like segregated there, you know, still. So it's like the local people like keep to themselves, and then like the expats and tourists are all kind of in
Sounds
one
like we
area.
should just move the Fringe to Barbados.
Yeah.
Sounds like the exact same, but
Yeah.
with sand.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, it was cool.
There's
but
a free
yeah.
Fringe in the Big Four.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it was good. But I was like, you know, there's just nothing really there as far as comedy or really the food scene.
Were you doing comedy at this point?
No. I when we moved here is when I really started
Yeah.
comedy. So
Where did
yeah.
you do your first gig?
The Stand. Well, I did like 2 or 3 gigs when I lived in New York.
Oh, really?
But they were these
That's
like bringer gigs that, you know, it was just full of other comedians and they were all just like writing in their notebooks with their girlfriends. And so didn't really feel like a real gig.
Yeah.
And it was like,
they took girlfriends to like their early gigs.
yeah,
That's insane.
I know, right?
That's
I know.
madness.
I know.
I did that.
Groupies.
My ex who I was with when I started like years ago, and like, you know, things happen in relationships, maybe you fall out, blah blah blah. We didn't have a bad breakup and stuff like that, but there's things I should feel worse about that I've done in my past.
Yeah.
But the thing I feel most bad about to any girl is the fact that she went to my first
Yeah.
like 30 gigs.
I
They're all
know.
like these pishy wee gigs to
Yeah.
like 2 Spanish tourists and stuff. Like, that's time she'll never get back.
So did you never do that, Josh?
No, actually, my wife's whole family, my now wife's whole family, came to like my 4th ever gig,
Oh my god.
and it's been hosted by James Bond parody act. It was awful. It was
What was the
awful.
name of the act? Do you remember?
Well, his name is. I don't know, well, his
He
name
was no, he wasn't called like Jim Bond.
No,
or
he
something?
didn't even bother with the name. It was like it was mad, and it was like at a working men's club, and
This sounds like a tough gig.
it was hard. It was really hard, and I don't know. Obviously, once we said, "Oh, you do stand-up comedy," they're coming to see you do a gig. I don't know what the picture. I don't know what they would picture in their head there.
Not
Whether
that,
they're
though.
picturing a club, a theatre,
Yeah.
but they're not picturing
What it
They're not
is.
picturing a James Bond.
What was
tribute
his act like?
Or, well, I mean, James Bond's not a comedy character, is it?
Not?
Arguably, Johnny English is a comedy
Well, yeah,
version.
yeah,
It's already
yeah.
been done.
Yeah. So he's just like, he was just in a suit and just coming on like with this, like, he's just like,
That is a funny way to come on
yeah.
stage.
It's almost like a Marcel, like kind of like Martini, like very English gentleman kind of secret. I can't say too much about that because I was in. It's got legs actually, as I'm saying.
Should workshop some
There
ideas.
was comedy bits in like the old Roger Moore ones and that, wasn't there? But I
Yeah.
suppose it's just like, oh, there's outdated fucking misogynist jokes basically for
Yeah.
the most part.
Yeah, my first gig at the Stand, I invited like 2 friends,
Yeah.
and the guy before me, for 5 minutes, tried to eat a rose, like just a rose, like an actual rose for
Yeah.
5 minutes, and he was like choking on it and gagging on it, and that
it
was
funny?
his whole
That
act.
sounds great.
It was fucking great.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was very
Yeah.
entertaining.
I always remember, like, 'cause I done my first gig, Glasgow Stand, and I always remember I'd been along, like, loads of Red Raws watching beforehand to get an idea of it and stuff. And then I remember when I was on and I'd really, like, written this set. I mean, it was fucking shite, don't get me wrong, but, like, I'd written and remembered it and I was really prepared. And I remember the wee guy going on before me and he was like a wee guy at, like, the drama school or something in Glasgow. And I was like, oh, so, like, you prepared? And he's like, oh, I'm just going to go out and riff. And I just remember, like,
Good
without
luck with
even
that,
having
brother.
done a gig, I was like, this guy's doomed, man. And I went out and seen him and he fucking died before me and I was kind of like, right, at least I've got some sort of act, you know. But
The confidence of that.
That's insane, isn't
Yeah,
it?
that's crazy. I can't even get my head around it. How you think, oh, that I'll be able to do this.
yeah, I feel like just I was so lucky that I'd been and went a lot, so I'd seen a lot of the sort of common things people would do to fuck up and all that, and I sort of go, right, I try and avoid them. But to go back to the thing about dates, though, because I've obviously done that quite a lot, to be honest, like taking the dates and stuff. And even when I started out, I do remember like one time I was doing a gig early on, and that's how early on it was. I was doing a comedy course, and then was going to do a gig at the Hall Bar, and it's just like an open mic thing on a Tuesday night, and I arranged to go on a date with this lassie, and then so I basically met her straight after. We got in a taxi, like got to the gig, and I like literally we walked in the room, and then I was going straight on stage. So it's like must have just been the weirdest thing ever. And then I done new material, which is the one thing I wouldn't do again.
You basically invited her on to like the version of, you know, like on Netflix, whatever, where you see the comedians walk to the gig. You've just invited her along for the ride, like a
Pretty
cameraman.
much. But no, I used to just do it like, and I found it mad now because when I look back and I go, I can't believe that they would have still wanted to talk to me after how terrible I must have been when I was starting out. But I guess like, you know, it's just maybe they're just like, oh, he seems confident.
Some people are
whatever.
impressed, that you
Yeah.
just you'll just do it. You know.
I think that once you, like now, it'd all be okay doing it. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like when you're early, it's
Yeah.
I
it's
still don't
terrifying.
like people I know coming
Yeah.
like, and I can't stop them really. Like for my solo
Yeah,
show,
especially with you being local as well.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
like
the problem, like, because I'm from Fife, went to school about like 35-40 minutes on the train, so like basically every day at the Fringe I'll be on stage and I'll be like, was I in geography with her or something? Like, there'll be like,
Yeah.
there'll be, like 5 people dotted around, like,
Acquaintances,
who's, I know that
yeah,
person.
Yeah.
weird.
I did like. I've always lived where you've moved around. I've never moved never moved anywhere. And like people, I do. Obviously, I've done comedy for a little bit now, and I'm like, oh, people, they're starting to recognise me. Well, I was like, no, you've lived here for over 40 years. They know you. They know your parents. They see you.
the
See
guy
They
from
know
the
where you
post
live.
office.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, God, it keeps happening.
Though you've obviously been putting a lot of clips on Twitter and stuff like that have went big, Josh, and so you must have had a bit of an uptake of that now, where you are generally getting stopped in the street
Yeah,
and stuff like
I
that.
am, but I think it's more of a. It's not like. I think it's spotted in a different way. It's almost like, oh, there's it's not like a celebrity would be spotted. It's all, oh, it's like a self-congratulatory. I've recognised who
Yeah.
you are. I've put 2 and 2 together in mind who you are. It's like they're happy. It's more of a find.
They're taking the credit.
Yeah.
You feel they've discovered you? If
Yeah,
they've
it's
seen
like,
your
it's like a
online stuff?
rare sticker, rare football sticker. Oh, that is that. Do you know what I mean? Not the best player,
Yeah.
but it's a rare one of the. Oh, I've seen that. Yeah.
No one's got doublers with Josh Pugh yet.
Yeah, that's it.
I've had a weird thing of late, like where, like, I've just been putting stuff on TikTok and all that sort of stuff, and like, I noticed that the last few weeks prior to the Fringe, like in Glasgow, like I got like this never ever would happen. Like occasionally people would come up to me, but like I got stopped in the gym. And like blah, blah blah, and a guy in the gym said to me, I can't believe you're around here. I'm like, I fucking live here.
What do you think?
Because I'm just
That
doing
wasn't a
fucking-
comment on your personal appearance, though, was it, Mark?
Well, I think he was meaning like, I can't believe that you're in this shithole.
Right, yeah.
And I'm like, that's what I mean. But it's happened a few times. But every time people come up, they go like, oh, you're that guy for TikTok. I was actually doing a gig, like,
I like the idea that there's just one guy from TikTok.
Yeah.
I was doing a gig in this pub where like there was people like, at a christening or something like that a couple of weeks ago, and like the bathroom was right next to where the performance was, and so she's walking by and she's like, yeah, I know you've TikTok now, and she's like, but do you do like stand up on TikTok? And I was like, aye. And she's like, what are you doing here? And I'm like, I'm just about to do stand up, and like they didn't even know there was
of course.
a show
Yeah,
on.
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So it's like so alien. It was just like such a weird thing, but it's a weird one because it's like they maybe know your face, but then it's like they'll never come to a show because they didn't know my fucking name. Never mind.
I think that's the thing with TikTok, isn't it? You're not. It's hard to then go to the next bit. Oh, I like that guy. They just got to hope you come up again, maybe.
Absolutely.
I'm not on TikTok. I don't know how it
No,
works,
I
but
know.
it's literally that, innit? They've got
Basically.
you
You just need to like come up a lot to the point where they would fucking actually seek you out, but otherwise you're just like something that just appears for like 20 seconds or whatever. So I'm always trying to get a bigger following on Twitter or Instagram, really, to be honest, like because that's where it feels a wee bit more tangible.
I think you've just got a link there, and it's weird. Like, do you put your kid on Instagram or anything?
Now and then, very rarely.
Yeah, I don't really know the rules about that, really. Can you
I
just
stopped for a while,
Yeah.
but it's like I just get so many likes when I put his face up there. I just can't help it.
Yeah.
People like to see him.
I mean, he's
think
not
because
bringing
I
any
do it
money into
rarely.
the house, is he? So he may as well
Yeah,
be doing likes.
exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Come on, get me
Bring
some
some
more
endorphins
views.
in.
I did a video, which is like my most viewed ever video, and I've put clips of my stand up up, but it's just me holding up a chocolate button and my 2-year-old racing after me just like for ages, and him like trying to get the chocolate button and me just fucking running, you know.
It's child abuse.
Yeah, it's child. Yeah, it's really fucking mean, but it's just got like hundreds and thousands of views.
Did you see that thing? I think it was trending on TikTok actually, but it was like the thing that like parents were barging into their kids' rooms and saying to them like, I was like, oh, there's somebody coming to like rob the house, and we need to like, we need to attack them and that, and like basically they would just go, ah! Like, you know, people filming their kids like just after telling them basically they were being fucking.
It's like those Jimmy Kimmel videos. Have you seen those? It's like years ago he did this thing where he made parents tell kids that they ate all of their Halloween candy from the night before. They're like, hey, we ate all your Halloween candy. And the kid would just go fucking nuts. He'd start crying and start like fucking bashing things. And then they'd be like, just kidding.
Yeah.
And the kid was fucking raging. I mean, it is just,
It's funny to be mean to kids.
It is
it's
really
like that
funny.
punch the beard off, punch his beard off.
Yeah.
That's why that video is so funny. You seen that video?
I think so.
This guy's saying to his kid, "Oh, Santa's not coming. You're on the naughty list."
Oh yeah,
my
I've seen
God.
that.
He's saying, "I'll punch Santa's beard off. I'll uppercut him." This kid's saying,
Yeah.
He didn't like go crying. He's like, "Well,
I'll fucking spark the
knock
cunt
him
now."
out."
Yeah.
I could see you doing pranks on your kids when they're older, Josh.
Yeah, I've got a little brother. He's had his A-level results actually. He's like my half brother. I used to like around December, I'd wake him up for school. Snow day! Like pulling the things up. And it's just like just pissing it down.
Now that's funny.
That's what I can't wait for when you wind in.
Yeah.
Wind your kids
That's
up.
one of the only reasons I want to have kids. I think,
Yeah.
is to be shit like that,
Me-
to be a dad.
Me and my wife have got this game, and it's you've got to get each other with it. And the thing is, it'd be like, "Oh, you're going to Aldi on your way back from work. Can you pop in and get yourself a fucking personality?" You're not allowed to spot each other doing it. Do you know what I mean?
That middle aisle's got everything. You
Yeah,
know?
it's a great game, isn't it? Yeah.
I suppose the thing nowadays as well, because it's like that's the spectrum of like if you've got kids, it's like on social media and stuff. You either like don't post them or like you put something over their face, like the whole kind of like Michael Jackson covering
That's
their
weird to me.
fucking
Yeah.
face.
Yeah.
Like, I suppose Catherine Ryan does that, doesn't she? And then the other one is like just completely exploiting them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is an awful thing to say.
I'll be an
but-
exploiter.
Yeah.
Also, this is an awful thing to say, but if it's to protect them from paedophiles, cover like the face isn't really what they're interested in, surely.
Imagine you put a photo of your little son up, you just blur his dick.
If you want to see that, you'll need to go and see my son's show at the Pleasance. We'll be getting his cock out live on stage.
Oh my God, Mark.
Told you we turn into shock jocks when we've got the.
I know.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
I need to actually see when
That was a record scratch sound
was
effect.
I guess this one.
That goes on for so long,
Far
Mark.
too long.
I feel honestly having this desk in front of us, it's like an experiment, like a social experiment,
Yeah.
like to see which comics will press what and what. That's, I think it's quite an interesting
Like the
thing.
marshmallow.
I bet there's not
Yeah.
many people. I bet there's not many comedians that would not press that.
Yeah, I find
The
that far
applause
too
one.
tempting.
Yeah, it's
As
I mean,
a
I
person
literally
who
just
has
did
to
it.
edit this, I'm going to be quite constrained. But
Yeah.
I'll keep it. I do kind of want to see what some happens.
Oh,
yeah.
That's such
that's a good one.
Fuck.
What
Is
was that? I missed
is
that.
that why it was like 400 quid for that one?
just to like, just for something when somebody
Yeah.
makes a shite joke, to just go.
That's probably what I've not listened to the Monkey Bar podcast. Maybe that's what we do. Maybe we're stepping on their toes. You were on it.
I was on it. Yeah,
Did
I was
they
on
do
the
all this
first
shit?
one. Yeah. It was new first episode for new desk. You're gonna press it, ain't you?
Me? I was thinking about it. I did it quite
Yeah.
a bit at the beginning.
Go on.
Yeah. Oh, that one's good.
That's a classic for a reason.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like roast battle.
What you? So you've been having a good fringe anyway?
Yeah,
Krystal?
yeah, it's been good. It's been.
Is this your first time doing like a full hour?
I'm doing
I know
45.
you're doing 45,
Cowards hours.
but first time doing like a solo show at the Fringe.
I did 30 minutes in 2019 at Monkey Barrel, which no one ever does because it would technically be a double bill, I guess, but then
Yeah.
it wasn't. So
Although
yeah.
it should probably more of a thing because like
Yeah.
we often comment on how an hour's.
Everyone's checking their watch.
I'd love
Yeah.
to. I'd love to watch. Imagine
Yeah.
like a maybe not Stuart Lee's a bad example, but somebody dead big. Imagine just going and watching Bridges do 30 minutes of new.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
that'd be
That'd be
so
how
good.
good that'd be.
Crushing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Aye.
So good. Yeah.
Just say I've seen Krystal's show in preview a couple of times and it's fantastic.
Oh, thank you,
So
Stuart.
Kaleidoscope,
Yes.
Krystal
Yeah.
Evans.
Oh,
Check
great
it
name.
out.
Yeah, it I'm happy with it. It's just like the title now doesn't really mean much because it was going to be a thing where I did like different colored spotlights when I was talking about different moods of things.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then I realized that's not going to work, so I haven't done that.
You get
We've
there,
all
the text
got-
like that, you just got, it's just a spotlight. That's
Yeah,
all.
that's it.
Okay.
It's just
regular
like
white.
it's like a big light.
Yeah.
It's not even got a lampshade on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. No, it's going well. I think I'm getting. It's the first time I've done a show that is actually a show
Yeah.
about something. Because my other ones have been just like me doing 30 minutes of like club set kind of thing. So yeah, and it is that it kind of a thing is it does work better at the Fringe than it does like say at the previews or the you know on the club.
Aye,
this is the
circuit or
place
something.
for that.
So, yeah,
That's great, isn't it? When you,
yeah.
because it's such a shame. Like the best bits, like the last show I did, and the show, it's like it's the big story bit, which
Yeah.
is great and it's fun to do.
Yep.
And you just can't do it
You can't-
anywhere.
Yeah,
No.
exactly.
No one cares about you enough.
Drunk people on a Saturday night don't
Yeah,
give a shit
yeah.
about your
No.
lifestyle.
Yeah, cool as
Definitely not.
pricks. Yeah.
Because are you doing a similar thing this year, Josh? Are you?
Yeah, so my show, it's like I come out and I do 10 minutes stand up, just trying to. That comes from doing like just a tonic and free Fringe, just trying to convince them not to
Yeah.
leave in the first
Yeah.
10 minutes.
yeah.
And then it's it's a story about trying to have a baby and stuff. But it's all like it's a story.
We've already
but-
spoiled it, sadly, on this podcast.
Yeah. Well, that's interesting. That's a decision I actually made in preview. I was originally doing it as in like the reveal is like I've had a kid, but it just made it so hard to story tell. So now I just come out and say I've had a kid. It's like, you know, when you watch a documentary about someone that survived a shark attack
Yeah.
and it's them telling the story, you know they've survived. It doesn't diminish the jeopardy in the story, does it?
Yeah.
It's still like, oh, this is still. I wonder
Yeah.
if he survived or not.
Yeah.
So I'll just
Interesting equivalence there.
Yeah. It's I'm loving it, man. It's
Yeah.
it's great. I always do this about this point. I'm like, I love this, man. This needs to be longer. But next week, I'm like, fuck this. Let's wrap it up now.
Yeah,
The last
definitely.
show.
Yeah.
Anyone that's
absolutely.
coming on next Sunday.
Yeah, good luck.
Yeah, God.
Bring a board game in if you're
Yeah.
coming to see me next Sunday.
Yeah. I will literally have my suitcase at the venue with me. Like, just, do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Walk
definitely.
right out.
Yeah.
And Josh, obviously you're saying you've been staying in one place. Like, so where did you start out and all that? And
I started like in the Midlands in England.
Aye.
Spiky Mike, you know, that guy.
Yeah.
Spiky
done some
Mike,
Spiky
Gong.
Mike gigs.
That's my first ever. It's Gong show. Never been to.
You done your first gig at a Gong show?
Yeah, I literally
Wow.
I watched I'd seen obviously loads of stand up on TV. I'd been to see John Bishop in an arena, and then it used to be back then. It used to be the Chortle website
Aye.
where people would advertise gigs, but I just googled stand up comedy gigs in the Midlands, and it come up. Want a gig, Spiky Mike. I was like, yeah, I do want a gig actually, Mr. Mike.
Let's find out who spiky you really are, Mike.
And it was a gong. I was like, oh, okay, and it was mad, yeah, scary.
Did
How'd
you
you
last
do?
the 5
Yeah.
Yeah, I
minutes?
won the whole
Okay.
thing. It was a bit of
No
like, oh, it's his first go, and
Yeah.
obviously the standard was obviously extremely low. As the everyone's so new. And yeah, it was mad, and I just absolutely loved it. I got home that night, couldn't sleep. I was like,
Yeah.
I need to do more of these. I was just doing gongs.
Yeah.
Like, the second one I survived. Third one I lasted like 2 minutes. And it's a mad way to start, really.
Aye. You like the feeling of beating people. It wasn't even about the laughs.
yeah.
It's like I want to win.
Just love
Yeah.
games and winning things.
Yeah, and then I was like, oh, there's open mics you can do. I was like, well, I'd just do that. I'd rather do them.
Yeah.
And you do like 10 minutes, like in the Midlands, because there's less gigs. Everyone's on 10 minutes straight away, so you're doing 10 minutes straight away. There's no bringers. It's a great place to start with. It's not got the. Yeah, it has got a bit of a community. What we've always lacked in Birmingham, less so now. We've got like Joe Lycett, and it's like we haven't had a big act to like. Oh, that's the route.
Yeah.
That's, or you start getting a bit of stuff like, oh, this is, who do I speak to about this? Like you've got Glasgow. There's loads like a history of, and we haven't. I suppose we've had like Jasper Carrot and
Frank
Skinner,
Skinner.
but they're like we need somebody like kind of like here to like,
Yeah.
oh, what do you do
Yeah.
if this happens? So that's kind of what we've. Like the Northwest I've got there. I always think if it was like a league table, like we're fighting it out in the Midlands. We're like down there.
Relegation battle.
Scrap.
Yeah, we're looking at like we need me to get a goal off a corner or
A real 6-pointer against the Southwest.
totally,
Jethro.
Yeah. Like
This
Glasgow
kind
away.
of chat is where I shine, by the way. Chip in here. No.
Couldn't give a shit
Glasgow-
about Britain or
Yeah.
comedy.
Yeah.
Really.
Glasgow away, gosh, parking the bus there.
That is a thing I find in comedy though, like, because I do often talk about that, like home games and away games just in general, like when you're gigging somewhere. Like, do you think, is there a place that you've played that's like definitely an away game for you in terms of somewhere in the country?
I find Liverpool quite difficult.
Yeah.
Because they've got such a strong identity. When you come on and you're not that, they're like, oh, we thought we were all. Do you know what I mean? It's, and when you, but
we were
also
hoping you'd be Scouse as well.
You know someone like a. You know someone like a. Troy,
You do look. You're the most.
That's it. Yeah,
Scouse guy in the world.
Yeah. I don't know if you get that. But I think when you're, it's a Scottish guy, or it's even you're like a posh London high status guy. At least they get that. But when you just go on and not that, but also not them. They're a bit like,
I know exactly what you mean. I find that in Glasgow. I mean, I've lived in Glasgow for years, but I'm not from Glasgow and I don't sound like I'm from Glasgow. Right. And I feel like at least if it's an English guy, they're like, oh, well, this is like a different thing. This is someone who's visiting. But they don't know what the fuck to do with my accent.
Yeah, it's
like, what is this?
And it's not like an animosity thing. It's just like why are you?
Yeah.
Why are you doing it?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I found that last time I was in Liverpool, I remember thinking on stage, this must be what it's like for people when they come up to Glasgow and they just feel the room no way them, because that's what I felt like. And I've had some nice ones in Liverpool as well, but I found that I just remember thinking like that thing that they always say about the Glasgow and Liverpool crowds. It's like, obviously I never experienced that in Glasgow because I'm at least fair there, even if I'm not having a bad gig. I know, like, you know, there's no that same thing, but I just remember thinking, oh fuck, man.
Krystal, is that every gig for you though?
I was going to ask.
No, I think you're absolutely right, because luckily I don't understand. I mean, I will never fully understand like all the intricacies of all the British, class structure and all that, but I don't have to, because I'm so foreign that I just go on and they're like, oh, she's American, so she's not gonna know any of this shit. So I just make fun of America for a little bit up top, and I talk about whatever the fuck I want, and people are like, all right. Usually
you're far removed enough.
I'm so far removed. So it's annoying when there's another person with an American accent on.
That's my thing.
I'm like, come on, I'm the ignorant one on this bill.
Do you find it useful being like a sort of like the fish out of water kind of thing, I suppose?
Sorry,
I want to go to like America and be like the most hack Scottish stand-up of all time. Like wear a kilt on stage.
When I was in New York, John Oliver was like doing the circuit there all the time, and I mean, people just loved him because they were just like, he was so different from everyone else on the bill.
Aye.
And I mean, in New York, nobody knows if you're an English or a British person. Nobody knows if you're like posh or working class, because we don't understand all that from over there because we're ignorant as hell. So he just like, makes fun of England slightly up top, and then he would just go into talking about whatever, and it was the same. So
sounds good.
I'm the same as John Oliver, as what I'm saying.
But it's so impressive though, like see if you mention a local thing, like, oh my god, that American knows about fucking,
see.
We saw the opposite last night, didn't we?
Yeah, we actually did, because we went to a show last night that we went there, but we didn't enjoy, from a visiting American comedian, and but they would get like big laughs anytime they referenced anything that was sort of like, it was like, oh, Scotland, it rains here, and I was like,
I can't believe he knows that.
I know,
Well, that's like Tom Stade's magic to watch, isn't it? He's just
he's talking about Homes Under the Hammer or some shit.
Primark and
You've lived here for 20 years. Just hearing in his voice him say like, don't know, Donald and Aitchison. The optician. Donald and Aitchison, am I saying that right? It's magic, isn't it? It's great.
No, definitely.
Need to get Tom on though.
Oh, aye, absolutely. And that'll be a tough edit though.
We're pressing a lot of these.
I also think fine, you get like people in Edinburgh or in Glasgow, like based there, and it's like, it blows your mind that they're like, Tom Stade's up here, isn't he? Eddie Brimpson used to be up here. Kai Humphreys.
Yeah.
Dylan Moran.
Yeah.
You never see any of these folk about, really.
Oh, do you not? Do they not?
No, it's not. No,
really.
I
occasionally.
see Dylan Moran all the time.
Yeah, but not in the clubs.
All right, no.
And
See
fucking
him riding his
Waitrose.
bike with his like giant coattails flying behind him.
No. It surprises you the amount of people that stay in Edinburgh, actually.
Yeah.
But
I don't know if we should be doxing them all. There's another one I was thinking of, but he's quit stand-up and he's probably just trying to live a quiet life.
fair enough.
So I won't bring him up. But apparently he has been spotted at gigs.
Can't you just cut it out?
Stuart Francis.
Oh, right.
Wow.
Did you not support him on Twitter?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Probably not including that, so just so you supported Stuart Francis?
I did indeed. What a nice man.
How was that?
No, it was great. Yeah,
Where was the gig?
I did 5 dates for him, like one in Blackpool, 2 in Glasgow. Oh my
Who was
God,
the
it's
Glasgow
so, Dumbarton, I think.
Really?
Yeah. It was like
I'm
in the
thinking
middle
you're
of
going
night,
to be
yeah.
playing
I thought it'd be like the
King's
Pavilion or
Theatre
something.
No,
Yeah.
it was a really
It was fucking
weird...
the Barton Football Club Stadium. or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah,
No,
it,
wasn't
yeah,
actually,
it was. Yeah,
Fucking hell,
it
I've
was
done that
very
gig.
Yeah.
The green room's the boardroom of the football club.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then,
That is actually a nice gig. to watch.
yeah, I can't remember. God, this was
I
like
had
3
one
or
of the
4 years
worst
ago.
gigs ever in Glasgow. Just remembered it at Celtic Park.
Did you do a Celtic Park gig? I
Yeah.
remember.
Like
they
in
were running them.
hospitality or something.
Yeah, it's well hard. It's
bet.
so hard.
What was it like?
Just, it was a hard gig anyway.
Yeah.
I think I was just rubbish. I think I was shit. I think that was the issue, actually. You know, just sometimes you get to a gig, you're like, oh, I'm shit.
Yeah.
No,
It's not going to help, man.
That isn't a away gate. That is fucking literally
Literally
Celtic Park
away
away.
Yeah. It
It's
was
known as a cauldron on European nights.
Yeah. And I think I was a bit more alternative back then when I didn't know how to do what I do better.
Aye.
Do you know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
just really hard.
I feel
before
like
you got the
people that are
skills.
going to a comedy night through the medium of like, you know, being a fucking Celtic season ticket holder or something, like, and going to at the ground or whatever, is like, it's going to be a tough.
That
They
doesn't
want
sound easy.
they want like Gordon Strachan to get up and do some stuff.
Yeah.
Do you know
Do
what
his
I mean?
tight 5.
Yeah.
To be fair, yeah, his type 5's pretty good.
I bet it's
I
fucking
think he
class.
smashes
Yeah.
the after dinner apparently.
I'm sure
yeah,
he
I
does.
imagine,
Yeah.
And big
Seen him yesterday
Did you?
coming out of Monkey Bower. Yeah.
Really?
Big stand-up fan, yeah. Yeah, big stand-up fan. Yeah, genuinely. Yeah.
He was doing
That's
an
cool.
conversation last week at
Oh, was
Newtown
he?
Theatre.
Oh,
apparently,
yeah.
but
Thanks in time.
that's hilarious. I wonder who he was going to see.
Well, I know he's actually trying to see me yesterday. Genuinely, he was trying
Really?
to see. Yeah.
Gordon
yeah.
Strachan was
Yeah,
trying
he's
to
just
see
taking
you.
a
Did he
point.
see you at Celtic Park and remember?
Yeah. But he's
That boy has potential.
he's a big Cov City legend, isn't he?
Yeah.
I can remember him at Cov kept bringing himself on as player manager and having no impact on games. But I'll sort
Love
this
that.
out. Actually, yeah. Yeah, he's a big stand-up
For
fan.
Krystal, who's not a football fan, that's the equivalent of like owning a comedy club and being a shit open spot and putting yourself on the bill every night.
Okay, I'm
For
caught
stage
up.
time.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good. That would be class. Like, I've not really had like a lot of like, although I'm saying that I did have Lewis Capaldi in at the stand in Glasgow,
Wow, yeah.
but never at the fucking like at my solo shows like the Fringe or whatever. You always hear about folk getting like cool. I'd love to get fucking Gordon Strachan just
Yeah.
in the
Yeah,
back of
it'd
my
be so-
gig.
I think
It's
it's
all
so
I'd think about the
distracting.
whole time. Yeah.
It'd be so distracting. I always think that. Remember when the war first kicked off, Ukraine, Russia?
Sure.
And it was like all these celebrities on the front line. I'm like, that's just going to distract me if I'm a soldier. Is that Vladimir Klitschko? It's just a distraction, if anything.
It was like when Elvis was
Yeah.
fucking
Yeah.
serving during the war.
Yeah, like the president was getting involved. Like, no, you sort out. We'll do this bit.
Yeah.
You sort out the talks.
Yeah.
Negotiate. We can't. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
president's a stand-up and the stand-ups are fighting. It's all fucking, it's all wrong.
Yeah.
You want them up the back, the celebrities, like when in a fucking stand-up show. Like you don't want them in the front lines, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was
so-
distracted with you in my show yesterday. Fuck on Strachan.
Yeah. It's
But-
weird, isn't it, when you have comics in? It's kind of it's a big compliment, isn't it? Really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you,
Yeah.
but you get different.
You know
laughs.
they're not laughing that much.
Yeah, you know,
Yeah.
or if they are, they're laughing at the bits that maybe not the best bits, but the most interesting bits, or the most.
Yeah.
Oh, that's an interesting premise. That's clever what he's done.
Yeah.
Or
Rather
in
than,
it's a bit meta and self-referential. You
Yeah.
know, is it comics laughing?
And then if you've got a really good joke, they're not laughing at all because they're just annoyed that they
Yeah.
yeah.
or just like scratching something at their notebook because they
Yeah,
fucking.
yeah.
I had that premise.
Have you had anyone interesting in over the years, or even this Fringe, like in terms of?
Nobody famous.
Nobody
no,
famous?
just other comedians.
Sometimes you
locally.
can just coincidentally get somebody because they live nearby,
Aye.
and they've just come down to like a mixed bill thing.
Mm.
Like you get like the odd MP. Like I'll tell you, I went into Abattoir one year, and Sadiq Khan was in there.
Fuck's
Like,
sake.
why Sadiq Khan it? Do you know what I mean? It's just why.
Yeah.
And the Hosiers, remember them? The Hosiers.
The Hoosiers, yeah. Goodbye, Mr. A.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you remember them?
No,
You'd know the song.
like a
Yeah.
band. Aye.
There are 2 or 3 big hits on that same album when it came out.
Worried about Ray. Seriously
Yeah.
worried about Ray. Yeah.
One of the songs was on FIFA. You'll have heard it.
Aye.
Yeah.
But yeah.
They say anything about
The
like
Hoosiers.
where people stay. Like I remember doing Brighton Comedian once and Dining Mars in front of Chris Eubank Jr.
Wow. He's like a famous boxer guy.
Oh, right.
Hope,
actually-
hope we never go to war and you're next to him in the trenches.
Would you kind of who would be like the dream person, like to have a celebrity fan? Who'd be the dream celebrity fan?
I would say like it's got to be a footballer or something, isn't it? Like, because the thing is, because I suppose like that's who you look up to the most. Like for me, anyways, like footballers and comedians. So like comedians are all potentially could be at a gig at one point. Yeah. Whereas Henrik Larsson's never turning up to my show.
Yeah. New material night on a Tuesday.
Yeah. Musicians or actors or that'd be cool.
Yeah. Musicians.
I would love like if Alex Turner became a fan of my stand up, I'd be quite happy.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. That. What about you?
Oh my god. My mind's drawn a blank. Maybe like I don't know. Michael Stipe likes stand up. I'd like him to come.
Does he?
Yeah.
REM.
Yeah, REM.
Just see the light.
Super old now though.
He's got that makeup across his eyes.
Yeah. Oh, that's him in the corner.
I feel like, could you get Ramsey to come?
Gordon Ramsay.
Yeah.
I
feel like you're close. Krystal, I mean,
my
I don't know if you want to
husband's
talk
a chef.
about this.
Yeah, no, it's weird. I actually do have some like semi-famous chefs that like follow me on because my husband's a chef and he's like his career's like way better than mine. So he's like, so yeah, like I mean, there's like a few like Australian and English chefs and like ones in New York and stuff that follow me. They're like pretty big
like
in the
comedians
chef world.
will bitch about the comedians.
Yeah,
chefs, celebrity chefs.
They're worse.
Like that.
They're worse. Oh yeah, totally.
That fucking hack with his triple cooked chips.
Oh my god, yeah. Stuart's like, look at this dish. Look, that's my fucking dish, and he's put it on Instagram.
There can't be as much of a taboo about stealing material in the chef world.
We compare it all the time, right? We do because he's like, it's weird because it is more acceptable in the chef world to steal something. Because someone will start a trend and then everyone starts doing that
this
thing.
This is my twist on it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's what they're saying.
Exactly. Yeah.
And it's like like celebrity chef. It's like stand up and they have like their thing. Mm-hmm. So like Jamie Oliver was originally the naked chef, and then Gordon Ramsay is the shouting guy.
Yeah.
You've got Big Zoo?
Yeah.
He's like a big rapper guy, like big black rapper guy.
Yeah.
And you've got like they have their own little
like Stein's into seafood and shit like that.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the whole shouting thing. Yeah, Gordon Ramsay did make that like, glamorous to be a shouting chef that's like yelling at everybody. But that's really just how the chef world, the fine dining world's been.
And also, it's a loud environment.
Yeah, you have to just yell. Yeah,
but is he like? Because I remember when I started out and like, cause like Frankie was on Mock the Week at the time and like everybody, like I think audiences still to a point think this like they're always thinking they're going to get absolutely roasted in the front row and blah, blah, and all that sort of stuff. And so did Gordon Ramsay have that same effect on the chef, or well, like you're coming into a kitchen, you think you're going to be getting
like
balls?
The chefs are like, please abuse me because I really want.
I don't want to be at the front of the kitchen.
do me.
Yeah, God.
It's Paul's birthday. Gordon.
Yeah.
You want to make a thing of it.
If you could go and call him a cunt, that'd be great.
Spit in his eye.
That's one of my favourite bits of stand-up. You see Mickey Flanagan's bit about Gordon Ramsay?
No.
I can't. I'll butcher it, but it's kind of like he's shouting. He's like, Gordon, we're doing a bit of dinner. Doing a bit of dinner, mate.
Sean Locke used to have a great joke about Gordon Ramsay about how he's like, he must be completely fucked up, this guy, because no one gets a six-pack on their forehead from worrying about broccoli. I'd just like you to facilitate like a Ramsay's Kitchen Nightmares, but for comedy clubs where like you can come in like,
oh wow,
fuck me, come on, get get the axe on quicker, fuck's sake.
Yeah, exactly.
Sort all the problems.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It must be an interesting environment, no? Like to be like having the restaurant and stuff like that, and
No, it's I mean, God, the restaurant is just like it's the most stressful place ever. It's just so like it's so intense, and I mean, I did it for such a long time, and I was always like front of house and doing the wine and the bar and stuff, and I was good at it, but I was just like after we had a kid, and then I was doing that, I was like, you know what? I don't want to do this anymore. This is not my dream. Yeah, So yeah, I was like, if I don't do stand up now, I'm probably never going to do it, which is why I kind of started, because it was just like, but I mean, the restaurants are like, they're just, it's such a thing where it's kind of similar to comedy in that like people look at that and they're like, oh, it's such a romantic thing, that everyone wants to do and everybody's like dreams of. Yeah, but it's like in reality, it's the chef world and like the restaurant world is like the most, one of the most demanding careers, not.
It looks fucking stressful.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
It's social as well, you kind of get all you're working Christmas, you're working weekends.
Yeah.
Well hard.
Yeah.
Also, speaking of celebrities, you must get them in the restaurant all the time.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, because we've had this year.
Because did you not? You had Benedict Cumberbatch last week.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Maybe cut this out, but we had J.K. Rowling in the other week.
Oh, really?
I know.
She's got to eat. No.
I know. Well, we didn't know she was coming. She booked under another name and
Do you
fucking just
just
shut
have
up.
a plaque saying, "This is where the latest transphobic."
Oh God, I can't remember her name, but the woman from the Truman Show. The love interest from Truman Show.
Not seen it, man.
I have seen it, but I can't. All I can remember is Jim Carrey going to that bridge.
Yeah, she was in, Anne Hathaway was in.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's
I
amazing.
know, that's really amazing. And God, there was some other famous person. Oh, the lead singer of Garbage, Shirley Manson. Yeah. She
See,
was
if I
And
was
we've
you-
done a gig together in a room where there's a mural of her on the wall.
We have,
Weird.
yeah.
That's as
Full
close as
circle.
I've got to.
Yeah,
The stand have got a new mural, haven't they?
Yeah, they've changed it. Yeah.
It's still the kid though, isn't it? But he's doing like that.
They got rid
Yeah.
of the gun.
Why did they
Yeah.
change that?
I like the way you did it there. Look like a football
think-
hooligan. Like
Yeah.
I think
One
they
then.
said that. I think they said that just like people had said about the gun and stuff.
because if you don't know, it's like a kid with a cowboy hat on and he's pointing a gun at his head. So I think we're taking the
Woke
mental health
culture,
angle.
am I right? No.
It's interesting, though, but to be honest, because
Yeah.
I film a lot of my stand up there, and like I have thought before, like because the way the algorithms working on that,
Yeah.
and like I think like on something like TikTok, see if someone reported it for the backdrop, they probably would take it down because it's like a
Interesting,
done thing.
yeah.
So when I seen it, I was a bit like, fair enough. It means that I would
Yeah,
just
I
have
guess,
less hassle,
yeah.
but
Yeah.
it is weird and kind of like I suppose like you can go is it a sanitized version or whatever, but at the same time I suppose it's just like fair enough.
Time moves on.
They did say
Yeah.
that it was always a toy gun.
Right.
Yeah, that's
So-
usually
yeah.
like a bang, like bang,
Aye,
come out like it's
so-
Yeah, like a
clowns,
little
isn't it?
flag.
Clowns do.
Yeah.
The bang and the.
But they just auctioned off the Edinburgh one, but the one for Stan Glasgow's still there, so maybe we
Gonna
could
have a
use
whip
it.
round.
Maybe we could use it in a new backdrop for some laugh.
That'd be
We're
fun,
back
yeah.
to Glasgow.
Does that look the same? Is it the same portrait?
Actually,
Yeah.
the Glasgow stand one's a lot nicer. Like
Okay.
I don't know when they were done, but the Glasgow one's
Such local pride, you can't even concede the artwork
Yeah.
to Edinburgh.
Is that your home? Is that your Glasgow stand? Is that like your?
absolutely, yeah. And it's like, and it's not as if like it was the place I'd done the most gigs in it, because obviously like there's such a demand to play there and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like took me kind of years really to get in there, and then obviously even when I was doing spots through and then even weekends, it's like you're still only gigging there every now and again, but it was a really good place to come through because it's one of the best rooms fucking anywhere.
Yeah,
and,
it's wicked.
It's great. So it's well, I always say that with Scotland, like we're lucky because like I think it's a bit like it's a bit like with football at Celtic. It's like there's not a lot, there's not as much up in Scotland as maybe down south, but we've got a couple of good stadiums. You know what I mean? Stand Edinburgh, Stand Glasgow, New Monkey Barrow. Like all these other like we've got some nice places to play here.
Yeah, if there was if Britain hosted like an Olympics
Aye,
of comedy,
like the Euros. and
yeah,
the soft fruit
they'd all
country.
get in.
Yeah,
Monkey
yeah.
Barrow would be in definitely. The stand would be in definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is it Birmingham Glee for you? Is that
Birmingham Glee probably the best. Yeah.
Yeah.
Near me.
But it's a good scene, and it's like the way people often talk about the Manchester scene, and they go, well, you've got Manchester, and then you've got Liverpool, and then you've got all these satellite gigs, and that's actually what Glasgow and Edinburgh is effectively like as well. You get these two cities, and you've got the clubs there, and then you've got all these fucking gigs. You go to Fife and do bowling clubs and cricket clubs and these sort of things, like, and it's just the same. I think it's a similar thing. It's just that like we know about it up here, but like,
and it's the people in it make the scene as well. I don't want to get too sentimental, but it's the people in it. Do you know
it's
what I mean?
literally the name of your fucking show for the other year. What was that again? It was like
maybe the real comedy awards of the Fringe mode. Gutted that didn't get nominated. Actually. But yeah, it is though, isn't it? You are the same. We are the same. Do you mean it's not like your friends and it's wicked. It's great.
man.
I know, and it's good. And again, not to get too wanky about it, but it's the good thing about stuff like podcasts and even just like doing the online stuff now is like, I think before the nature of the like even something like the Fringe was like everybody's vying against each other, and it's like who's going to win the award. It's like this hierarchical thing. Whereas now, like, you know, you just put your stuff out online and sort of get your own wee territory. Yeah, it's like, I'm the guy that does this, and this is the type of stuff I do, and somebody's over there doing that, and it's like we can all coexist together.
Yeah,
and there's enough.
Spencer Jones always says the world's fucking massive.
Aye.
That's what he always says. The world's fucking massive. It's right, isn't it? There's loads of people. Loads of people.
Space for everyone.
Yeah, and if you're getting like that, if you're getting that like habit of just being happy, that's something you can train yourself to do. Oh, if someone's sold out, the Professor Love emoji on Facebook. If you very quickly that becomes your default feeling of oh, wicked, 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 and it's such a nice way to go about it.
No one's stealing food off your table by having a good Fringe or whatever,
exactly.
You know.
Exactly.
Speak for yourself. Fuck all the sold out people. Yeah, no.
There's one question I was want to ask you before we wrap up, because obviously, Krystal, you were just mentioning, so you started stand up kind of after having kids and stuff like that. Josh, you've obviously been doing stand up and then have recently had a kid in the last year, and it's like just wondering like how it changed your perspective and like even like priorities and all that. Like it'd be interesting for you, Josh, obviously kind of it's a recent change and how it's been for you, Krystal, for the start, like if like try to prioritise comedy, family and all this sort of
and
stuff.
The restaurants and everything. Like you're the busiest person I know.
That's insane.
Yeah. I mean, I think the one advantage of starting stand up after I had kids was that I know how to balance that now, I think, you know, because it's like it really is. And I really have forced myself to keep doing stand up even through like the hardest bits of having kids, like when they're really, really young is like so hard because they're just these little balls of fucking shit and piss and needing like they just need everything from you. They need everything from you, and it's really hard. I won't lie. And if you're trying to do both, like, you know, and I mean I am so lucky that I have like, you know, like my mother-in-law and all these things, and I have pals that can like, I'm like, can you come and just sit in my house so that it's not illegal for me to leave my kid when he's sleeping, so that I can, because my husband Stuart also works at night because he's a chef, so it's like, you know, if there was a nighttime nursery, that would be a thing, but it doesn't exist. So so it's oh god, it's really hard. But like, you know, I've heard other parents that are comedians say this, and it's true, but it's like when you have kids and you have like absolutely no time, when you do get that time, you like really have to use it and just be like, right, okay, I have 2 hours. Let me write as much as I can and do as much as I can in this time. And it's like, as time goes on, you know, sometimes you stagnate and you're like, oh my God, I haven't written a new joke in like, you know, 3 months or something. And it's just like, ugh. But then
we're doing that too with no excuse.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like, but then it's like, you just keep going. It's, I don't know how you find it, but it's just like, I just feel like if I keep going, then I can't go too far wrong, you know?
Yeah, and before you know it, you've done another 6 months in your 6 months.
Yeah, and then the kid is 6 months older, and it's such a little bit...
I've got it a bit easier at the minute because at night time, I think it'll be harder when he's older and you're missing bedtimes and you're missing bathing him and story times. That'll be harder. But at the minute, he's just like lying there.
And he won't remember this time either.
Yeah, exactly. I think it'll be, but when you give him the weekends to get a bit older, I think that'll be... It's a big ask on the family.
But like, I guess as comedians, we're free in the day. Yeah. So, you know, you can hang out with them in the day.
Yeah, but that's the thing. So at the minute, I can hang him in the day. But so I'll get up on a Monday. If I'm away a weekend, I've got Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday doing daytime stuff. But when he's then at school and my wife's back at work, it'll be like, oh, it's a new thing then.
Yeah, but, I know. But you got to just like take it as it comes. And then as that problem arises, you're like, okay, how can I... You know what I mean? Yeah. Because it's like Stuart's the same. My husband, he's like, you know, he works day and night basically, and he's just like, you know, kind of recently, kind of, you know, put other staff in and stuff so that he can like spend more time with the kids and that. And you know, my goal is for him to be like the stay-at-home dad eventually, so that I can like I can just go and, you know, tour and stuff like that. But yeah, I know. I think
you've got to work. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, you have to make money.
Everyone's,
people have been doing that for generations. You know,
people's parents go to work, isn't it? That's what it is. It's just our work is at the weekend.
Some people go away as soldiers and shit. I'm the same as a soldier, basically. That's what I'm saying.
Well, I think that probably about covers it for this week's episode of Some Laugh. So thanks once again to
thanks so much for stepping in, guys.
Thanks,
guests, Krystal Evans and Josh Pugh. If we go, if you want to plug your fringe shows out, Krystal, what time's your show on?
Mine's at 3:10 at the studio on Nidri Street, Monkey Barrel.
Literally where we are recording, the back bit where
literally where we are right now. Yep, right over there.
3:10, Monkey Barrel comedy. Obviously, fringe show for tickets. It's Krystal Evans Kaleiodoscope,
and it's a fantastic show.
Thanks,
brilliant,
Stuart.
funny, but also a fascinating story. If you don't mind me saying.
Thank you.
and Josh,
I'm at 2:10 at Monkey Barrel 4, which is on Blair Street. So I'll wrap up early.
Yeah,
get
and then
round to
run over to mine.
Yeah, could knock through actually.
Yeah,
knock through, couldn't you?
like the Kool-Aid man.
Yeah, an adjoining door, like you know the hotel rooms with the adjoining.
Yeah.
And so it's at 2:10.
Awesome.
Josh at Josh Pugh Comic on everything.
Brilliant. And and do check out Josh's videos as well. Like absolutely brilliant.
Very funny.
One a week on Twitter, is that right?
I'm doing one a week for a year.
Brilliant.
And then seeing what happens, and then I'll might just do now and again. I'll do a podcast or something.
Amazing. And do check out Krystal's videos of her taunting
My
kids.
kid, chasing the chocolate button around the park. Yeah, that's funny.
Obviously, as you
Josh is a brilliant stand-up, by the way. It's not just his videos online. He's first and foremost a fantastic stand-up.
Absolutely. And obviously, as you well know, me and Stuart are both doing our shows at Fringe. We do clash, so just pick whoever one you want to see more. And all the links will be in the description.
We could knock through the wall.
Yes,
we're literally back to back.
What time are you guys on? You like?
I'm 4:55 and you're 5:20.
5:25.
But literally next door to each other.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
So it just means we have dinner every night and get pissed.
That's
Nice.
nice.
what happens.
If you're having a rough
month.
one, you're like, he's smashing it in there. That's annoying.
You don't want to be hearing next door in a lull.
We've been
Laughter
like,
coming
it's
through.
amazing there's no Noisebleed, it's just both our shows have been going terribly.
Mine gets pulled most days. I just stay in the room. I just don't want him to know.
But as ever, guys, just please follow us at Some Laugh Pod on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. Do give us a 5-star review on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever it lets you leave a review, and like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. That was easy for me to say. Like and subscribe on YouTube if you're watching that there. Thanks a lot for tuning in, guys, and we will speak to you very soon.
What's wrong with that? Is that it? Cheers, guys.
Oh, nice.
Thanks very much.
Cheers, guys. Thanks a lot.